Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I think this is the first time that I've ever gone live on two different pages and it worked. Yay! Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just a little bit excited about it today. All right, so happy Tuesday. Oh, no, Thursday. Happy Thursday. So today is, I almost said December 2nd. It is January 2nd, 2020. And today, I'm going to be sharing something. So I'm sharing this on two different places. So I'm sharing this in my Fit and Free community group chat, which if you would like to be a part of, just send me a message and ask me and I'll tell you how you can do it. And I'm also sharing this on my personal page. Okay. So I don't normally mix ministry with business, but today I'm going to. Okay, so I have a business that's called Prosperity Health and Wellness, and so what I do is I create online programs and coaching programs for people that want to improve their health, and for the most part, a lot of it is focused on losing weight. And so, but what I have for you guys today is I have something very special to share with you guys. And so this is going to be a mixture of both ministry and business, I guess, today. And I just really feel like, the last couple of days, that God has really been speaking to me very clearly about some things, not only in my own life and business, but also I have a message for you guys. And part of it is going to be very, very encouraging. And then part of it, in all honesty, is a warning. And I hope that you will like, love, and share this with anybody that, as you listen to it, that you think, might need to know what it is. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm so excited that we are at the beginning of a new decade, a new year. And I just believe that God has amazing things in store for all of us. And so I'm going to share a scripture. Okay, so hang on just a second. So here we go. Oh, crud. So now all of the dings are coming up. I apologize. All right. So anyway, so I'm going to share from 3 John 2, and this is from the New King James Version. And it is, "Beloved, I pray that above all, that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers." So I am not going to do a sermon on that. I'm not going to break it apart and give you an exegesis about it, but I'm going to share with you my personal thoughts on it. Are you guys ready? Okay. So it says, "Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers." Okay, so as I was spending some time, I normally spend a lot of time in prayer anyway on a regular basis, but I was just praying about, the new year and about my business, and I really felt like God spoke to me very clearly about the health of our nation. And I'm talking about not just the physical health of our nation, but the emotional, spiritual, and mental health of our nation. And so I'm just talking about Americans in general. And so, God gave me 5 things to share with you guys today. And so first of all, if you like me or love me, do me a favor, like, love, and share this video with somebody that you know. Okay. All right, so the first thing, and so really these are just like bullet points, and some of them are not even related, but I do want to encourage you to get a pen and a piece of paper and write them down, because I'm certain that at least 1 or 2 of them is directly going to pertain to you and into your life this year, okay? So the first thing that God spoke to my heart was that we need to focus on improving our health, not on getting skinny or sexy. I'm going to repeat that again. So your health, your physical health focus for 2020 needs to be in this vein. You need to focus on getting healthy, not necessarily on getting skinny or sexy. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Now, first of all, let me say that if you are a married person, I don't think there's anything wrong with being sexy for your spouse or your significant other. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to look good for your spouse, your husband or your wife, because I think that's a very healthy part of a marital relationship. I believe it's a very healthy part of sex. And so, for you guys to be physically attractive to one another is a very healthy thing. However, in America, we tend to focus on weight loss and physical health from an outward beauty perspective. In other words, we're more focused on getting chiseled abs or, like really great muscle tone. There's nothing wrong with great muscle tone. But what happens is that we focus on improving our physical health for outward beauty reasons, and we lose the value of getting healthy for healthy sake. And what happens is, in our pursuit of physical health for beauty or physique reasons, we oftentimes bypass the whole health aspect of it. So let me share what I mean by that. So sometimes we take supplements that are not necessarily healthy for us. Sometimes we employ diets that are not necessarily healthy for us. Sometimes we adhere to extremely rigorous exercise programs that actually create more physical stress and more mental and emotional stress that are not healthy for us. And then what happens is, in our pursuit of this physical, beauty or this physical physique, we bypass the whole aspect of actually getting fit and healthy, if that makes sense. And so what happens is that because we're not focused on improving our health, because we're not focused on improving our nutrition, because we're not focused on improving our mental health, our emotional stability, our spiritual well-being, because we're not focused on improving the actual health of our mind, body, soul, and spirit, what happens is all we're doing is focusing on the outward nature, and then whatever efforts that we have employed are usually very short-lived. In other words, you can only adhere to like a crazy diet for a short period of time. You can only adhere to a really rigorous exercise program for a certain amount of time. And eventually you're going to revert back, like your body or your mind or your body just can't handle it. So what I want to encourage you in 2020 is to upgrade your mindset, upgrade your mentality, upgrade your health focus. So if you want to get healthy, if you want to drop 20 pounds, you want to drop 50 pounds, there's nothing wrong with having great abs. But what I want to tell you is I want you to upgrade your mentality, upgrade your thinking. I want you to come in from an abundance thinking. And here's the abundance thinking. You ready? You need to be physically healthy enough to meet the demands of your divine assignment on your life. I'm going to say that again. You need to be physically, spiritually, and emotionally healthy enough to meet the demands of the divine assignment that is on your life. Now, some of our divine assignments are very natural in nature. Some of us are maybe some of us are housewives, or maybe some of us are truck drivers, or maybe some of us are school teachers, and maybe we're not necessarily ministerial people, okay? That doesn't mean that calling, that gifting is any less significant than someone who stands in the pulpit or who, leads songs of worship. So whatever your divine calling is, whatever your divine assignment is, whatever your career aspirations are, whatever your family aspirations are, you need to be healthy and well enough to meet the demands of that assignment or assignments. So in other words, you're not going to have enough mental clarity, you're not going to have enough emotional stability, you're not going to have enough physical stamina to answer the demands of your divine assignment or your career aspirations or your calling as a parent or a grandparent if you are not in a place of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Okay? So I want you to upgrade your thinking in 2020. If you want to improve your physical health because you know that you need to improve your physical health, I want you to do it for reasons that are much bigger than physical beauty. I want you to do it for reasons that are much bigger than physical physique. Am I saying that you shouldn't look good for your husband or wife? No, I'm saying you should definitely work on that. But I'm just saying that there needs to be a greater reason. There needs to be a greater mindset, because if you are improving your health in 2020, if you have a much bigger mental picture and a much bigger mental reason, a much bigger why, the reality is you're probably going to stay focused on it much longer, and you're probably going to achieve your goals because you have a bigger, much more deep-seated reason than just getting chiseled abs. Okay? All right. So that's number one. So number one is focus on improving your health this year, if that's what God has called you to do. But do it for reasons that are bigger than getting skinny or getting sexy. Okay? All right. All right. Now, I have 3 more points that I want to make that are for all of you, but I have 2 warnings from the Lord, and I'm just going to read them in the order that I wrote them down. Okay? So, some of you that are under the sound of my voice, or those that you will share this video with, some of you are either headed for a health crisis, or you are already in the middle of the beginnings of a health crisis or a crash if you don't improve your physical health. I'm going to say that again. Some of you are headed for a health crisis in 2020, or you've already been in the midst of a health crash for the last couple of years, and I'm going to explain what that is. So some of you have already been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Some of you have already been diagnosed with high blood pressure. Some of you have already been diagnosed with joint disease or heart disease. Some of you have already been diagnosed with arthritis that is related to weight. Some of you have already been diagnosed with health issues that are directly related to the way you care for yourself. So that are directly related to your nutrition, that are directly related to how much water you do or don't drink, that are directly related to how much you exercise or don't exercise, that are directly related to your stress coping mechanisms. Some of you have already been diagnosed with health conditions that are directly related to your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and you haven't taken the diagnoses serious enough to do something significant about it. Some of you have done a little bit to improve it, but some of you have not taken it seriously enough. And I know by the Spirit of God, and again, I don't usually get this churchy on things like this, but today I'm going to be churchy because it's what God told me to say. Some of you are headed for a more serious health crisis or health crash in 2020 if you don't get it together. So some of you have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and it's not being managed well. It's not, or maybe you think everything is okay because it's being controlled with medication, but the reality is that disease of diabetes is still eating away at your physical health. It is eroding your physical health every single day of your life. So some of you think that just because you're taking the right medicines that everything's under control. And I'm telling you that if you're having to take medicines to control a physical ailment, then you are not well. You see, so many people in America take regular medications to control issues that could have been fixed with proper self-care, with proper nutrition, with proper water, with proper rest, with proper stress coping mechanisms. So if you think you're doing okay because your conditions are controlled by medication, I need to tell you that you're not okay. If you're taking medication, that means you are ill. All right, I know that's a hard thing to say, but I believe in 2020 that there are going to be many people in America and even people in the body of Christ, even leaders in the body of Christ, pastors, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers, who have not taken their physical health seriously enough, and they're going to experience a health crash or a health crisis in 2020 if they don't do something significant to turn it around. So, I'm sharing this with you because, somebody didn't like that. Somebody gave me angry signs. Oh, well, it's the truth. So, I'm not preaching doom or gloom. What I'm sharing is the reality of years and years and years of not taking care of yourself. If you have years and years and years of not taking care of yourself, it will result in disaster. And that doesn't mean, and when it happens, then sometimes when bad things like that happen to us, we go, but God, if you loved me, you wouldn't let this happen to me. No, we're just, so, I am going to give an example a little later on about how we use bad food to reward ourselves for being good on our diet and how crazy thinking that is. But here's what I want to say. God can definitely heal you. God can definitely heal your situation. But I need you to understand that you have something significant that God has inside of you that he wants to give and gift to the world, and you can't do it fully unless you are healthy. Okay. All right. Third point, and this is my second warning, but it's my third point. And here it is, that some in America are headed for a mental or emotional crisis or crash if they don't begin to take their mental and emotional health seriously. Now, this is something that we don't talk about, and actually I believe in 2020, this is something I'm going to talk about and teach about and preach about a lot. And that is that when we think of mental health, we think of people that are mentally diseased or mentally impaired. And so we think that mental health issues are only for people that are not well mentally. But the reality is maintaining a healthy mental wellness is important to each and every one of us. So I believe that there are people that you might even be one of them, you might have loved ones, but people that have been languishing in stress, that have been languishing in a low level of depression, that have been languishing in too much anxiety and worry, that have been, when I say languishing, I mean, just barely getting by every single day. Some of us are headed for a mental health crisis or crash if we don't get some intervention and some help. And that does not mean that we're crazy. You do not have to be mentally crazy or have schizophrenia or any other mental disease to get mental and emotional well-being help. Okay, so I am encouraging you that if you don't have great stress coping mechanisms in place in your life, if you have been consistently struggling with depression, oppression, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, all kinds of things, and it has not really, like, you haven't been able to break through, I want to encourage you to get some help this year. And that does not mean that you are weak. It does not mean that you're crazy. It does not mean that you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It means that you are smart enough to get the help that you need. Okay? And I believe that our physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being are all interconnected. And so I believe that a lot of times, sometimes we see physical health ailments and issues as a result of the mental stress that we have been under for so long that we have not processed through. I'm going to use an example of one of my friends. I'm not going to say whether it's a he or she, but I'm going to use this person as an example that I think a lot of us Americans do at times. So one of my friends in the last decade, let's say in the last 10 years, experienced a death of a parent. Experienced significant health issues in the other parent, experienced significant health issues in one of their children, experienced job change, like literally in the last 10 years, this person that is a friend of mine, I'm not going to say whether it's a he or she, but has experienced a lot of change and a lot of mentally and emotionally challenging situations. And I was encouraging this person the other day to get the needed help that he or she needs. And so I'm just using that as an example that there are so many of us that think that we can just keep pressing through for another day, and we don't understand that we are headed for a crash. And if we get to that place where we crash, then it's like the whole world comes tumbling down. It becomes difficult to do your job. It becomes difficult to be a parent. It becomes difficult to take care of your home, and it definitely becomes difficult to take care of your physical well-being. So if you know that you have been under a lot of stress in the last couple of years and you haven't sought out a counselor, a mentor, a coach, a physician, somebody to help you process through this, if you've experienced grief or depression, if you experience the death of a loved one, all of these are things that sometimes we just need a little bit of help to get through, and that does not make us crazy. That does not make us weak. It does not make us anything but human. And I want to encourage you in 2020 that if you have not been dealing with stress well lately, I want to encourage you to reach out for help. reach out to people for suggestions, for professionals, for recommendations if you don't know where to look. I'm just saying that if you know that I'm talking to you, then again, then this is a warning. This is a loving warning to take your mental health seriously. And it doesn't make you crazy to need help. It makes you human. Okay. All right. Point number 4. So this is kind of an addendum to point number 1. So point number 1 was that we need to focus on improving our health, not just getting sexy or skinny. Okay. All right. So point number 2 is that we need, in relation to that, is that we need to change our mindset from, and this is specifically in regard to losing weight and to physical well-being. Okay. So here's the mindset. Oh my God. If I could get every American to do just this, I would feel like my life's work is complete. Are you ready for what it is? Here we go. When it comes to eating healthy and dieting and losing weight and exercising, here is a mindset that I believe in America is straight from the pits of hell. I'm sorry for being churchy today, but it's what I think. It's what I believe. Here's the mindset. Well, I did really great on my diet this week, or I did really great on my diet for the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to have a cheat day. Okay. So for some people, a cheat day means, well, I might eat some pizza today. I might have a piece of chocolate cake. I might have a glass of red wine. But for some people that have a higher, more abundant, more evolved mindset of thinking when it comes to nutrition and health and wellness, they know that to overindulge in those things, even for one day, is not going to help to improve their physical well-being. They know that it's okay to have those kinds of foods in moderation, on occasion. If you go to a birthday party, you go to a dinner party or whatever. But here's the mentality that is pervading in America today, and here it is. I did really great. I'm sorry, here we go. I did really great on my diet this week. I did really great on my exercise this week. So Saturday, I'm going to have an all-out cheat day. And what that means is I'm going to eat anything and everything I want to all day. In other words, that means I'm going to binge. Now, I'm trying to wrap my brain around the mentality of that thought. So I'm going to show you how ridiculously crazy that type of thinking is and how you need to abandon it in 2020. That is the same as if you know someone that is an overspender, who has racked up all kinds of credit card debt, who has gone through credit card counseling, who has gone through, what do you call that when you who has filed bankruptcy. That is like someone who has a spending problem, who then rewards themselves for doing a good job, staying within their budget. So now for a week or 2 weeks or a month, they've done really great at sticking to their budget. And the way they reward themselves is by having a cheat day. On their cheat day, they go to the mall and they buy anything and everything that they want. If I could just throw my glasses at the screen, I would do so. Do you see how crazy that kind of thinking is? Is that going to help that overspender continue to build financial stability in their life? No. It's going to set them back significantly. Or, I wrote down another example. That's like a recovering alcoholic or someone who was addicted to narcotics. That's like a recovering alcoholic or, narcotic abuser who has been clean for a week or 2 or a couple of months or a year, who says, you know what? I'm gonna reward myself with a cheat day, and I'm gonna have an all-out alcohol binge, or I'm gonna have an all-out drug binge. What is that going to do to that person? It's going to send them reeling backwards. So in 2020, in regards to your health, your personal physical health and wellness, if you are seeking to improve your health and weight loss is one of your goals, then I need you to abandon the cheat day mentality. Am I saying that you should never have a piece of chocolate cake? No, have a piece of chocolate cake on occasion. Am I saying you should never have a couple of pieces of pizza? Of course, have a couple of pizzas. But when you have a day that you allow yourself to have a couple of things that are maybe not as nutritious as you normally do, understand that you are going to set yourself reeling backwards if you have an all-out binge day. And if that binge day turns into 2 or 3 days of binging on really unhealthy food with absolutely no regard to personal constraint, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to throw you right back into overeating. It's going to throw you right back into sugar addiction. It's going to throw you right back into being physically, chemically, and physiologically and psychologically addicted to really unhealthy food. And it's going to derail your weight loss progress. So in 2020, if weight loss is one of your goals, I need you to abandon the cheat day mentality. Okay? All right, last one. You guys ready? And this is a word of encouragement. Okay. So if improving your physical well-being, your physical health is important to you this year in 2020, I want to challenge you to make connections, build relationships, partnerships, take courses with people who are abundant thinkers in the area of physical health and wellness. And those that can actually help you achieve optimal health. In other words, although I am a personal trainer, I don't want you to just hire a personal trainer who's going to kill you in the gym, but who has no capacity to evoke lasting change in your life. You know what? This one was so good, I'm going to repeat it again. If improving your physical health, and specifically if weight loss, is part of your goals for 2020, I want to encourage you to make connections, build relationships, create partnerships, take courses with people who are abundant thinkers in the area of personal health and wellness, and who can actually help you achieve optimal health. Not just hiring somebody that is going to give you a diet plan that is only going to help you drop weight temporarily, but they're not going to teach you the principles of overcoming overeating, gluttony. They don't teach you the principles of overcoming in fact, I haven't even preached about this, chemical addictions that we have in food. Like most of Americans have a sugar addiction. In all honesty, it is a chemical addiction. We just don't look at it like that. So what I'm saying is, I want to encourage you, if improving your physical health is important to you in 2020, then you need to kick it up a notch. You need to find people that can actually help you achieve optimal results that is going to extend into your life for a lifetime, for people that are not just focused on getting you to be able to do 20 push-ups, but somebody that is invested in your health and in your life to make certain that you have the physical stamina and well-being to answer the divine assignment that is on your life, and people that can actually teach you strategic skills that will pervade throughout your entire lifetime, that will take you into 2021 and 2022, still maintaining the health that you achieved in 2020. Okay? Alrighty. So today, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you about any of my programs. I'm not going to tell you about any of my courses. I'm not going to tell you about any of my coaching programs. I simply wanted to deliver a word of encouragement, 3 words of encouragement, and 2 words of warning. And I pray that it's been a help to you. So if this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, do me a favor. Leave a comment on one of these videos. Send me a personal message. I love to hear back from you. If you have questions, I'd love to hear those as well. And if you know anybody in your circle of friends, family, loved ones that you know could benefit from this, do me a favor, share it with them. Okay? All right, you guys, I think that's it. I have a lot to get done today. I pray you have an amazing Thursday. Again, happy Thursday. Let's make 2020 the best year that we've ever had. Okay? All right. Bye.